Should we go for the... So, welcome everyone to our curiosity call, and I'm delighted that so many of you are curious about our courses, about cultural emergence, about permaculture, about learning together and making positive changes in our own lives and in the lives of everyone. So I'm grateful today for, well, I was grateful for my dinner, which was some bread that Emma had made me and I'd put in the freezer. So it was great, nice, nice meal. And I'm grateful that I was grateful for the beauty of the snow last week, and I'm grateful that it's gone, and I'm grateful that the floods have moved through here as well. Yeah, if you'd like to put in the chat where you're calling in from and something you're feeling grateful for, that would be really nice to hear. I know it's a global group. I know some of you already and where you're calling in from. So I know we're scattered across the globe, which is just lovely to feel the international group. And I am here with my collaborators as well. Some of my collaborators, not all of my collaborators could make it, but some of them are here. So I've got Emma, Barbara and Delvin here, and Leona is going to join us later, hopefully. So yeah, let's hear from a welcome from Emma, then Barbara, then Delvin.
Hi everybody, really lovely to see you here this evening. It's such a, yeah, like Looby said, such a global group. And I'm really grateful also for my dinner, but also for this opportunity to connect with you all today. And I'll pass on to Delvin.
Yay, I'm calling in from the evergreen coastal rainforest of British Columbia, Canada. It's so exciting to connect across the planet with more creative and conscious people. And yeah, I'm so excited to be here. And I'm going to pass it over to my dear friend, Barbara.
Yeah, thanks, Delphine. I'm calling in from the heart of Croatia, where I had Suzanne Cabezas one day on my course. Hi, Suzanne. Nice to see you here again. And yes, I'm super grateful for a nice sunny day today after a little bit of snow. And yeah, nice to see you all here. It's usually inspiring to have all these people together in a call.
Yeah, thank you all of you for joining. And yes, yes, I feel really grateful as well for all the memories of this year and the memories of all the lovely courses that we've had and the people I've met that are keeping me warm now. And I'm grateful for the online connections as well that keep me going over the winter time as well, so I don't get too lonely, and I still feel this amazing connection with all these people. We've got Australia, Sweden, Norway, Croatia, Canada, Belgium, yeah, Ireland, France, US, yeah, so Hungary. Amazing to have all these people here. Wonderful. So let's start with a poem, just to feel ourselves settle into the space. This poem's called Arrival. Arrival, anticipation, expectancy, stepping into the new, and who knows what delights we will find, treasures inside ourselves. When we turn the corner from our everyday being, we see the exceptional becoming our present reality. Entering into a fresh world of enthusiasm and renewal, we understand these life forces lay hidden within us all the time, talking to us in our sleep, beckoning us out of our tight boxes, leaving clues for our waking mind to stumble over. And now we have arrived, ready to be our full selves. So that's from one of my poems from my book Strands of Infinity. And I was looking earlier for a poem that suited the moment, and it felt like that one did it. That one spoke to what's called you here, what might be your threads of curiosity that have led you to be in this space at this time, or for those of you that are watching the recording, thank you for taking the time and to really think. I'm hoping that through this call, yes, it would be lovely if you are thinking about coming to Applewood or meeting us online for a course. And also a bigger picture of what we're doing here is thinking for ourselves about what are our intentions, what are our learning intentions, what do we need to absorb in order to then contribute out into the world. And that's really the pulse of learning and connecting on these courses, whether it's online or in person, is that we're gathering the energy, gathering the inspiration, gathering the tools, gathering the confidence, empowering ourselves and filling ourselves up and feeling in a supported community, so that we are then more able to ripple out into the world, that we're more able to ripple out the ethics of earth care, people care, fair shares, that we're more able to connect with other people, that we're bringing this peaceful culture with us, and we're being proactive in our lives, and in whatever way that is, if that's how we parent, or how we show up in our community, or how we listen to our friends, or it could be on something bigger. But that's the pulse of the courses, is we're absorbing and then we're giving out, we're absorbing and giving out. And that's really what all of the courses are about. And so we've said here is like Applewood courses online and in person. So I'll just share with you first about Applewood Permaculture Centre, which is my home. I'm lucky to have it as my home with my partner Chris Evans, who he's in Nepal at the moment, so his time zones mean that he's fast asleep at the moment. And can't be here, but he's definitely my biggest collaborator. And we live on the borders of Wales. We're actually in England, but that's where we are in the UK, and in Herefordshire. And we have a 20-acre small holding here, which although it's called a farm, it's Waterloo Farm, actually it's more of a nature sanctuary here. And we have the tawny owls and the grandmother oak and all the apple trees and deer and badgers and the occasional kingfisher and heron and bats at night. And so it's a sanctuary for the wildlife and for people. And that's it. So that's our place here. And we run courses about permaculture, which can be more land-based. My partner Chris does more of the land-based permaculture, and I do more of the people permaculture, which has then evolved into the Cultural Emergence Toolkit, and that's what I do most of my courses about, which I feel is another way of expressing permaculture and the aims of permaculture, which are those ethics that I mentioned of earth care, people care, fair shares. And So we will be sharing a bit about the Cultural Emergence courses and the permaculture courses, and then also the Mother Nature courses, which is a project that I've been involved with since 2017, and Emma's been involved with in our second funded project and has been taking that forward since. So we'll also share some of that as well. And we will in this time give ourselves some, we will have some space for some questions and answers as well. So you're welcome to put them in the chat if you, or, you know, as they occur to you, and we will definitely have some time towards the end to really dive into those. So I'm gonna share my screen, which will hopefully work. So hopefully you can see this mandala. I see some thumbs up. Great. So I'm a great believer in non-linear learning. So you don't need to do a step 1 and then step 2 and then step 3 of the courses. I believe that you know, wherever you come into your learning journey, there will be that it will lay upon your previous experiences and your life experience and build in that way. So when I was designing the learning pathways for cultural emergence, I wanted to design modules where you learn something and then you could come back and integrate it and then layer more learning in there. So these are the 3 modules that you can do in any order of, so the 3 modules of cultural emergence. So we have the ACE course, the Activating Cultural Emergence course, which is focused on the challenge and awaken phase. So this is where we awaken to possibilities and we see all the potential, and we start revealing culture to ourselves and systems thinking, and just start opening ourselves up to the cultural emergence toolkit. And that module is available both as an online module where you can enroll at any time, and also there's going to be a weekend in May at Applewood, and then another, I won't say the next because, as I said, they could be non-linear. Then we have another module which is called Design Adventures. You might have heard it previously called as the Seed course, but I've renamed it as Design Adventures because that's my new book that's coming out as Design Adventures, and it's all about the design web and how we can use it to take practical, proactive steps in our lives and design our pathways forward. So this is the move and invigorate phase that we go through, and there's next year, I haven't fully set the dates yet, but there's going to be several either self-study or interactive short courses taking us through different design adventures, and that also leads on. I'll talk about what it leads on to in a moment. Let's finish these. So then we have the Peace course, which is Peace, Empowerment and Cultural Emergence. And this is the Nourish and Empower phase, where we will learn the 8 Shields module, and we learn how the nature connection practices and how to connect to each other. And we do this as we've just finished actually the Peace course, I know, online, which I know some of you have been part of. And we also do this as a deep dive, which is a whole week at Applewood with my collaborator Leona Johnson, and we're around the fire and we do ceremony, and it's like we sometimes we call it a course, but it's like a retreat, it's like a gathering, it's like a step forward, it's like this really deep immersion. So that's a really beautiful opportunity. And as I said, these are all non-linear, so you can step in at any one of these, and you don't need to have done any previous work to benefit and to come in. And the more you do, the more you understand and bring more understanding in. So this is so those are the 3 basic modules, and I also have a free taster course which you can do as a starter into that journey. And thank you, Emma, for putting lots of links in the chat. So the taster journey is like an even earlier stage, a beginner's stage. And then we take that on to more advanced stage. So one of my learnings for over the year, my 22 years of teaching permaculture and cultural emergence, is that I think, well, no matter how many courses I do, I still won't reach as many people as I would like to reach. And so the way I see it is that actually I also need to train other people up to go out and teach and share these tools. So I'm constantly, as well as doing the entry level, and I'm also think about like taking people further and further on their journey and really skilling themselves up. So some of the ways I do this is with the group diploma adventure, which I do with Delvin, and and he'll speak more about later. And so that's where you after you've done your permaculture design course and the design adventures, you go and create a whole portfolio for yourself of designs. And then we're also doing the teacher training this year, which is an opportunity to come together in a safe space and try out your skills, to really get comfortable being that person at the front of the room, holding space for everyone, and just gaining confidence by doing, gaining confidence, gaining tools, gaining the practice. So and we have lots of fun in the process, and it's just really empowering. So this is part of the journey, if you want to go out and teach permaculture or cultural emergence. And then after doing the 3 modules, or after you've done 2 and you really like know that you want to carry on, we also have the cultural emergence leadership training, which is we're doing it online, but with the option to come to some of these in-person gatherings and courses. And that's when you're really like committed, and really either you're already a leader in your life and you want to bring cultural emergence tools into it, and or you want to go further and expand and take cultural emergence into your communities. So that's going to be a 15-month journey together with me, with mentoring and small groups, and that's going to be really amazing. So, and then we have the advanced design course as well in September, which Delvin will also talk about. So I know that's quite a lot of information to take in. So I thought we'd have a kind of relax our brains for a moment from all that the information of the courses, and Delvin's going to share some photos from his time at Applewood last year, so we can just enjoy the feelings of it and step more into the feelings now. So over to you, Delvin. We're seeing quite a few windows, maybe more windows than you. I think you need to.
Okay, let me do a little reset here. It should be working. Let's try this. Desktop 3.
While Delvin's doing that, just say if you do have questions about these courses, please do put them in the chat, and you can see that's looking great there, Delvin. Off you go.
Sweet. Oh, this is so great. I'm so grateful to be here. Rumi said, "Your life is your canvas, and you are the masterpiece. There are a million ways to be kind, amazing, fabulous, creative, bold, and interesting." Yeah, Applewood is amazing. Here's a few meaningful and magical memories from times in 2024. Gathering with Grandmother Oak. Nature connection. heritage orchards, lots of apples. Pears too, organic farm and garden to table food. Exploring the land. Learning journeys. Singing together. Delightful dancing. Silent, reflective walks. Time outside. So many classrooms. There's the yurt classroom. Chris Evans teaching at the Food Forest. Countless outdoor classrooms. Sitting in circle. Learning and growing together. Personal contemplative time. There's Annette, she's here with us. Sharing wonderful food. Milky. Casper. Kittens. Fridge and freezer. Wise old Baloo. Learning games. Moving the tools. More dancing. Meaningful moments of magic around the evening campfire. Group design activities. Real practical design exercises. Collaborative designing. Meet and learn with other amazing people. Connect with people from all over the world, just like we're seeing in this incredible call. Have a blast. Share joy. Make friends. Have heartwarming moments. share tea breaks. Learn with these extraordinary teachers. I hope to see you at one of these amazing courses this year. I'll certainly be out at the advanced design course over autumn equinox weekend. And maybe I'll see you online, so I take as many of the online courses as I can. That's me. Back to you, Looby.
Yeah, thank you, Delvin. One of the kittens here decided to show up and was called in, a bit bigger than she was a few weeks ago, or couple of months ago. Yeah, wow, that was really beautiful to see those magical moments from our time at Applewood, and yeah, it really is a special place. So honoured that I get to spend my life here, really, and I'm so honoured that many people come here from around the world, and it becomes this special place in people's hearts. Yeah, one of the questions there from Monteo is how old is Grandmother Oak? And we're not sure exactly, but we think probably about 200 years old. So she will have seen a lot of things in her time, a lot of different things. Yeah, and we feel like she's the spiritual guardian of Applewood. Yes, wonderful. Yeah, so we have some great questions coming up. I'll go for answering a few of them now, and then we'll carry on. So the registration for the design adventures. So we will I will be doing something in probably February. I was going to say January, but I think it's more likely to be February. And I'm looking at sort of redesigning the course. Before I've done kind of quite a big longer course, and now I'm looking at sort of ways in which we can do small bite-sized design adventures there, and that there will be some which you can do as self-studies courses at any time, and then some you can do like there's more interactive ones, and so thinking about different themes for them as well. So we might do one around designing our health and well-being, and then another one around designing our week ahead, and one around designing our effectiveness. So that's it's still a design that's brewing at the moment, so I'm not fully ready to share that. Nazra, you're asking what is the structure of design adventures, days, months. So it will be sort of shorter things that maybe like have 2 or 3 calls with them, or that you can do as a smaller self-study one. So so that's the design is brewing, but I'm currently working on my book Lifeline for design adventures, so that's on hold for the moment, but luckily I'm ahead of myself with most of the planning for other courses, so that's that is the one that's still in in process. So Karen, please, and I'd like to say here, one of the things I also say on my or at the beginning of every course, I say is like there's no such thing as a silly question, and that maybe what you're asking is a question that other people have as well. So Karen, please don't feel embarrassed to ask this, but it's great to say this. So the question is, can you say what permaculture is? How does it feel, as well as a mind answer? I love that second part of the question there of how does it feel, because for me permaculture, yes, it's got lots of like heady concepts and tools and techniques and designing. And actually, I think for a lot of people that come into permaculture, it is more about how it makes us feel as well, that it really engages us. And that was certainly my journey with permaculture when I did my permaculture design course, which is like the standard course, which is like over 72 hours, and you get your permaculture design certificate. And when I first did that course, it wasn't so much what was happening in my mind. It was the feelings of connection and community and collaboration and co-creation and solutions finding and working together and having fun while learning. That was all what really sort of inspired me to stay in touch with permaculture and to continue my journey. In terms of what it is, for me, permaculture is about ways in which we can move to those ethics of earth care, people care, and fair shares. And we do that with a toolkit of principles and design methods and tools and techniques that we have and that you can learn, and then you can apply it in lots of different ways. So it has a lot of focus on land-based permaculture, and for most people, I would say, that are engaged with permaculture, it expands beyond the garden and starts really affecting every area of our lives. So one of the things that I will be involved in a little bit is the online permaculture design course that Applewood is doing at the moment. I'm going to be guesting there, but Barbara, you are working with Chris and with Tomas on that course, and as you're here, could you share something about that course and what people are going to gain from it? And I love that question. How is it going to make people feel, as well as what will they learn?
Yeah, yes, I can. Well, to begin with, I think it will be a super special course because both the main teachers have so much experience. Chris has like 35 years of experience, and Thomas has 25 years of teaching experience. And yeah, it's really amazing. And besides them, I will also take up a few lessons, and there will be guest speakers like Looby and also Morag and Ansiima Rolande. She's from an African country, and so very different people from all over the world that all have their different angle on permaculture. So this will definitely not be a boring online course. It is actually more set up like a community. It's sort of an interactive teaching by being in conversation with people about their questions and how they want to do their things and finding solutions for that. So it's not 72 hours of sitting and waiting till it's over and in between yawning a bit. No, it will be a nice and interactive course with a community of like-minded and like-hearted people. So yeah, it is online. It starts mid-February and it runs until June. So it is also springtime, and lots of people, when you speak about permaculture, they think, gardening. And yes, that is a part of it. And you can also design your garden and think of all the plants you want and the companions and how your garden is in the bigger landscape and how you can arrange all this. So yeah, I think it is a very nice and exciting course to make good steps to level up your permaculture knowledge.
Yeah, thank you, Barbara. Yeah, it's nice and spacious, isn't it? With it being over several months, you can learn something, then go and observe it in your own life, and then come back, and then report back, share your stories, and learn more as well. So, yeah, it's always had a good response. I think this is fourth time that that it's been run as an online PDC. Originally, of course, started with the pandemic, but actually found to be to work really well and bring in a global group. So yeah, so that's the PDC. There's some questions around the teach training and the cultural emergence leadership. So I'm going to share that, and then Emma, I'll pass over to you to talk about Mother Nature. And there's been a few questions in there about payment plans, and I'd just like to share that for any of our courses, you know, we do have payment plans. We also easily run bursary for our online courses as well. So we have bursaries for our online courses. We do have subsidized places for our in-person courses, and pay like a sliding scale and payment plan. So you know, we do really want to work with people and not let you know, finances be the limit. So the questions around the what's the difference or between the cultural emergence leadership training and the teacher training, and I would say, rather than what's the difference, it's like what more the question I would say is what's the synergy between the two. And so the cultural emergence leadership training, we will be very much focused on cultural emergence and looking at leadership in lots of different ways. So not just leading as teaching, but leading as being a community leader, and how do we really shine in what we want to do in life, how we want to take things forward. And so that might be in your project or in your workplace or in a particular movement that you're working in. It could be yeah, in lots of different ways that you want to show up as a leader, whereas the teach training it is very much about teach training. How do you teach, how do you facilitate, and how do you gain the skills and confidence to do that? And that can be for permaculture as well as cultural emergence. And the, you know, they're different beast, shall we say, because like the teacher training, it's 10 days fully immersive here at Applewood, fully in-person, connecting with people and practicing and really gaining skills. So it's very immersive. And the CELT is over 15 months and it's online. So they have, so then again, like we were saying with the online PDCs, and I think this is one of the big differences I find between the online courses and the in-person courses, actually, is that the online courses tend to be more spacious and more integrating than with your own life. So it's like the, you know, that interface between your real, your, you know, your day-to-day life and the course has got a lot more edge. Whereas when you come in person, you're fully here and you know, you're repatterning and learning and connecting and fully immersed in it. And then you go home and you try and you spend time integrating it into your day-to-day life. So they have different qualities around them, and I've learned, you know, I love both of them for different reasons. They are you know, it's kind of saying, do you like apples or oranges? It's like that you can't fully compare them, and it depends on what recipe you're making as to which one you need, or what climate you're in, as to which one you can grow. Maybe I should say apples and pears, because we grow both of them here, but we don't grow any oranges. Yeah, so that's the CELT and the teach training. I know there's quite a few people who will do both and come here and be here and do the teach training as part of their leadership training. And I know there's many people that will do the CELT that won't be able to come here. And so that's fine. Maybe they'll find teacher training somewhere closer to them. Yeah, I hope that's answered the question. Liana and Nanette, I think you both answered, kind of asked questions on that. Or no, Laura, does that feel like that's answered your questions, or would you like to ask more? I'll get some
There's
thumbs
another
up.
comment from Liana at the bottom.
Okay, great. Liana, yeah, do you want to, yes, you've got your hands up. Do you want to ask?
Yes, sorry. Yeah, so I just guess I'm looking for a little bit more clarity around CELT. Would so provides the capacity to become a leader within community and to take cultural emergence out into the world. Does CELT does it do that in a way that it provides facilitators training, or yeah, I'm just trying to grasp the difference between leadership and facilitation, I guess. And it yeah, crossover there, or yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they do interact, and I think.
Sorry. Oh, well, I was just wondering what the difference was between facilitation and leadership, I guess, and what would a leader do and what would a facilitator do? I mean, I kind of understand facilitation and, going out into the world and doing workshops, but how would a leader take cultural emergence out into the world as opposed to a facilitator taking cultural out into the world? That's what I'm trying to ask, I think.
Yeah, and I think those fascinating questions that we will explore together of what does that mean. I think that facilitation is a type of leadership, but there's other ways you can show up as a leader in your projects, and it doesn't necessarily mean just facilitation. It could also mean designing. It could also mean encouraging others into their leadership. It could mean setting up projects or networking with people. So there's lots of different ways in which it can show up, the leadership, and that's going to be our journey, is for you all to discover what are the ways you want to show up as a leader, or what are the skills and passions that you have and opportunities you have in your communities. So that will be part of the journey, and so there will be some facilitation training within that as well, and opportunities as well to practice, and yeah, so obviously in person, so I mean online, the CELT, so it will be different opportunities than there would be in person. Yeah, great. Thank you for your questions and your curiosity. I'm loving the curiosity here. Emma, should we venture into Mother Nature, and which I think is great that you could kind of continue this theme of leadership and share more about how we see it from the Mother Nature perspective.
Yeah, I was just thinking that was a great segue from general leadership to mother's leadership. And Looby and I, when we're both part of the Mother Nature Project, we were both co-authors of the book Mothers as Natural Leaders, which is a whole big book about how to explore your leadership skills that you've gained from your mothering. And that could be mothering children, but that could be mothering projects or community groups or organizations, gardens. It doesn't have to be human beings. Or it could be mothering your sisters or aunting. And we've got a course that goes beautifully along with this, where you actually get to explore what it means to take those skills you've gained as a mother and use them to bring leadership to yourself. So leadership starts with you as a person. How do you walk in the world? How do you look after yourself? And then looking more how you take that into your family. There's always a culture to be created and different agreements, and how you raise the people in your family or those around you to be part of that, and then taking that out into the wider world. Your children might get older, you might have something that sparks a passion that you want to make a change or give back into your community. Well, how do you do that? How do you take those leadership skills out? And then even further into a more global context, maybe online or internationally, and looking at how we take those mothering skills that we've got of care and compassion, of looking after the finances, cleaner, peacemaker, gardener, play activist, drama, teacher, all of those that are wrapped up into one. How do you do that? And just really exploring how that feels. And when we meet in person to do that, it's always also using nature, because it's natural leaders, and using how we use nature to support us and to ground us and to give us that basis, because leadership in a regenerative form isn't about top-down imposing. It's about a collaborative process. So yeah, it's, of course, it's brilliant being there in person. Looby and I teach that together, being at Applewood, really empowering women to explore that and connecting. And there's also lots of lovely time in between singing and sitting around the fire. So that's beautiful. And then I'm running another course, which is live leading Mother Nature Circles course. There's some of you here who've done that course, and it's an online course about stepping into your facilitation skills, leading Mother Nature Circles using the Mother Nature cards that I've got here, and how you can lead circles with groups of women. So it's a very practical course, but again, it explores your own leaderships and those skills. And there's some live calls and online materials. And then just to give another little plug, I'm doing a Mother Nature retreat online on the 18th of January for a nice, just nourishing post-Christmas wind down for people who need a bit of time to regenerate after that. And I think the whole Mother Nature premise is that we can make a difference in the world and we can step into our leadership, and that's what we're doing, very actively supporting mothers. But those courses are for they're open for people who are mothering. Ready? I'll hand back to you, Looby. I'll put the links in the chat.
Yeah, I love that we've connected up the leadership in there as well. Yeah, so we have these opportunities, and I was looking at some of the cultural emergence principles there to maybe support us in our journeys over the next year, the coming year. And so I've picked out. Can you see the light there? Step into the unknown. Expect the unexpected. Take the first step. Expand into new ways of being and knowing. So that feels appropriate for any of these courses, taking the first step, and it might mean for that taking the first step might mean just going and looking at these websites and web pages and feeling into it for yourself. And then I have emergence happens in relationship. Exchanges create life. Identify patterns, cycles, and potentials of your interactions. So this is this emergence happens in relationship. Again, I think describes every course. It's like that's what happens on the course, is that people come together. It's different cultural context, different personal cultures, different skills, different personalities, and when we come into connection with other people, it brings something out of us that maybe we weren't aware of, and it shows us sides of ourselves and our gifts and our insights. So emergence happens in relationship. And then this one, which is embrace potential. Potential may emerge quickly or slowly. Open your arms to possibilities. Growth is non-linear. So there's that non-linear again. It's not necessarily about having to do things in a certain order. It's actually non-linear, and I find this with courses as well, that if you try and equate the course to a time like, oh, it's a weekend, and you think, well, if I spent the weekend at home, maybe not that much happens, a bit of cleaning, a bit of watching something, a bit of rest, maybe a bit of catching up, not very much exciting happens. But you come away for a weekend and suddenly it's like this exponential growth that can happen. So and then, well, another one here, discover abundance. So discover many ways of knowing and follow curiosity. So you followed your curiosity to be here now, or watching the call. So yeah, keep following your curiosity and see where it takes you. And maybe it takes you to one of our courses, maybe it takes you to another course. That's all, yeah, all great. From those principles, I thought maybe you would spend some time, and maybe Delvin, you could put on some music for people just for a couple of minutes. We've shared quite a lot of information now, and I just want to bring you into your space of your own imaginings, your own longings, your own intentions. What are your intentions, your learning intentions over the coming years, your growth intentions? What are the possibilities and the opportunities that you want to open into? So Delvin will put on some music, and we'll have just 2 or 3 minutes to write down your intentions of the places you want to grow, and what are the experiences you want to have over the coming year.
Abuelito poderoso. Chirik, 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 sanando nuestro camino. Brilla tu luz interior. En el camino misterio, camino muy sagrado. Maravillosa planta de la selva, conectar con las visiones del cielo y de la tierra, de la tierra. Guardianes de este lugar,
Thank you. So hopefully you've had a moment to reflect there. I always enjoy that emergence happens in relationship. I thought, oh, I could write my intentions as well. So I'll read mine out. This is obviously just written in the moment, so I will spend time crafting this. And I think it's all worth sharing in this moment as well. My intention is to support people to find their gifts, upskill, find hope and purpose and ways to contribute in the world. Yeah, so is there anyone else who would like to share the intention? Any of my collaborators or anyone else who would like to share their intention, and knowing that these are not necessarily...
I would love to.
Yes, great. Thanks, Aggie. Go for it.
So I established a community choir, and my intention is to grow it. And also I dreamt up supporting like a sister organization, which is called Friends of the Mill Hill Community Choir. And that group can have all kinds of outreach, not just the singing. So I just want to be in service of this idea and grow and connect and sing, because that's what I love to do most. And I also dream about taking the choir to Applewood for something, I don't know, a few days, a retreat, a workshop, some kind of program. Yeah.
Lovely. Well, you've planted that seed there, Aggie, and you've been to Applewood. So, can you share just like a sentence of what was the magic of being here at Applewood?
I got a pat on the shoulder from the land because I climbed the steep slope down and then back. And as I did it, and it was difficult for me because I have to use a walking stick sometimes. So for me, it was a big thing to do it. And as I arrived back and I tried to step over the fence, and I didn't lift my leg high enough, so I got caught up in the web, like the plastic part of that fence. And I somehow pulled it down, so the big pole which holds the fence just hit me on the shoulder. But I registered it as a well done from the land, from Applewood. So it was a big acknowledgement, and it was quite strong, but yeah, how the magic is strong there. So yeah, that's what one thing, but there was many magical. So it really changed my life in ways I just start to realize a little bit after, big ways. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Aggie. And I think, as you say, these courses can change your life in big ways, although the ripple might take a while to build as you go back into your life and to sit, and then you can look back and go, oh, that was actually a huge turning point. And it was from that turning that then has taken me somewhere completely different. Yeah, so thank you very much for sharing. And we did you were here at the Mother Nature course, and we had a beautiful time together. Lovely. And welcome, Leonie. I'll give you a chance to share in a moment, but we're just sharing at the moment that people have spent a bit of time thinking about their intentions for the coming year with their growth and their learning. So we've just heard Aggie's, and I was wondering if there was anyone else who'd like to share. Is there anyone else who would like to share their intention for the coming year? Laura?
Yes, I have many intentions, many ambitions. But I'd love to become a leader, and a leader in more areas, indeed, teaching, facilitation, but also something else that starts from softness rather than control. That's my biggest intention. Yeah.
That's beautiful, starting from softness rather than control with your leadership. Yeah, that really is a beautiful way of summarizing the mothers as natural leaders, the cultural emergence leadership. So thank you very much. Yeah, lovely. We've got some in the chat here, which I'll read out from Montedo. I just want to nourish it and empower myself more. Beautiful. Beautiful. And from Azra, I'd like to provide spaces for peace and fulfillment in my communities, to give people tangible ways to improve their lives in even small but powerful ways. Beautiful. Beautiful. Is there anyone else who would like to share before we welcome Leona into the space? Annette. Yeah, go for it, Annette.
Everybody. I want to, and have wanted to for a while, to continue building on leadership training. Sorry if there's background noise. There's a lot of playing going on in my house, which is beautiful and wonderful. And I want to do that through deepening connections, and as well as at the same time simplifying and enhancing and nourishing my daily life. So I agree with that statement of nourishing myself more. That's definitely what I want to do. And I got a really good feeling of what that means for me when I was at Applewood this year, with those extremely deep connections and the kindnesses that I experienced, not only shown to me, but to each other. And it was just a very beautiful thing to experience and to witness, and empowering. It was very empowering. And I want to take that forward, because that is the basis of leadership. So I think I just repeated what was already said, but but those are my intentions.
That's beautiful, Annette. Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. Well, let's welcome Leona. So Leona is my collaborator on the peace journey. We've just finished the online peace course for this year. And Leona, do you want to share some gratitude and share a little bit about the peace deep dive?
Yes. Well, hi everyone. I apologies for arriving late to the call, but I had another session, and I'm just feeling really deeply grateful for I guess getting to do the work that I do in service to life and in service to to what I really living my values. Actually, I've been lucky enough to work with the 8 Shields for the last 10 years, and with the principles and practices of cultural emergence for the last 5 or 6 years. And I really feel like right now I'm able to step into leadership in the way that I've heard a few of you describe it in the last a couple of sharings. And it feels like such a privilege to be part of a community of people who are really stepping into what it means to be a connected leader, what it means to really nourish and empower ourselves so that we can be the versions of ourselves that we want to be, and support others to be that for themselves. And I am really, really grateful that I'm one of the facilitators of the peace process, because it's a highlight of my year, and it's a real opportunity to drop into that fully embodied version of me that I don't always get to be, because life is so busy and it's distracting and it's complicated. But whenever we're on the land isn't it so much easier? You know, we don't get judged by the trees or the animals, or when our feet are bare on the ground and we're sat around a fire with other people who are really getting that. It's so rich and so nourishing and so empowering, and helps us, I think, to tune in more to that deeper wisdom that's always there for us, and really tune into what it is that life wants us to share in our everyday lives. So it's that kind of out breath, you know, that breathing in to breathe out, you know, coming into a connected space that's really rich and empowering, and then going back out into the world and sharing and learning and growing, and then coming back in again to learn some more and listen some more. And that's what I get from the peace, empowerment and cultural emergence process. And we have a lot of fun. So I would encourage anybody who is on this journey and would really appreciate the embodiment of some of these tools and techniques, to come and join us, and to come and experience, you know, a little bit of playfulness, a little bit of sacredness, a little bit of learning and deepening what we already know, and then creating our vision more clearly. Because I think it's only when we've got a real clear vision of who you know, of the world that we want to be part of and who we want to be in, that we can really see it whenever it comes. And we can really see the opportunities for that version of life to arise and then respond. It's an exciting community to be in, and it's lovely to see all of your faces and know that, you know, I've met some of you on different courses and that you're all from different places around the world. And I hope that we get to meet in person again, or maybe on another peace online course at some point.
Yeah, thank you, Leona. I think you just spoke beautifully for after we've just been thinking about our intentions, about how this visioning can support us to bring that into reality for ourselves, and to do that on small and big scales as well. And one of the I know we are sharing with you a lot, I know, because we're sharing it with you like a whole year's worth of excitement here. And I think one of the questions that you might be having is like, well, how do I choose? Where do I go? And one of the ways in choosing is with the non-linear format is just like, well, what's available when you're available? That is one of the ways in which you can choose between the ACE and the peace and the design adventures. And you know, and what we find is that when, as Leona said, you know, a lot of you have been on this journey. Some of you I don't know at all, but some of you I do know, and you come to one thing and then you're like, oh, I want more of this. This is great. I want more. So you know, step in and see what's you know, what's available. And what we're also been cooking up is, and we're just ready to launch this, is the Cultural Emergence Collective. So myself and Emma and Barbara have been creating a space where we can come together. So if you've done one of the Cultural Emergence courses, you can join the collective, and we'll have enrollment windows, and this is like an ongoing community of practice that we will be able to be this like field of encouragement for each other and support each other. So Emma or Barbara, would you like to say something about the collective, and then I'll also pass over to you, Delvin, after that.
I could go next.
So Emma,
yeah, so in the collective, we really want it to be an ongoing conversation and being in relationship and supported to each person. We're going to be sharing lots of the cultural emergence principles from the seed deck and going into those in much more detail, and the practices and how you can really embed them into your life, and getting you to share how you're using them and to share how you've brought them, because actually emergence is such a big part of the cultural emergence toolkit, is actually those relationships of what comes, that, oh, I did this, you did that, I did that. Oh, that's amazing. I've had this insight. And we have that so often in our courses, but actually keeping that momentum going and keeping those insights in. We'll also be having some encouraging kind of emergent conversations between Barbara and Looby and myself. And we'll also have a notice board place where you can share what you're doing and how you're using the tools and about things you've got coming up. And storytelling, that's one of the big practices, is actually sharing how you're using cultural emergence, sharing your nature connection stories, sharing your design stories, sharing your peaceful journey, sharing all of those different inspirational journeys, because there's so much out there that you're doing. And we really want to invite people to come and be part of this kind of collaborative process. You got something else to add, Barbara?
Yeah, I thought I think you already said it all, but I wanted to put some emphasis on Louis already said it. Emergence happens in relationship, and this is called a collective because we're doing this all together. It's not us telling you how it is. We create this space together. So that's the only thing I wanted to add.
Thank you both of you. That's important to note that. And yeah, I'm really excited by all these developments that are happening with cultural emergence, and it really does feel like it's growing into a global movement. And yeah, I'm just really grateful to be able to support so many people on their journeys. And another way that myself and Delvin support people is on their design journey. So Delvin, do you want to share a bit about that? And then after Delvin shared, I'll open up for more questions and reflections again, just to let you know that's coming.
Brilliant. Well, I wanted to start by saying I'm still really enjoying the Peace course with Luby and Leona, who's on the call, and John Young. I've found, once you sign up for online courses, they have this unique flexibility. I'm not done yet, even though the live portion of the course is over. I'm still enjoying working my way through the course, and I've been actually doing it out in the gardens and also walking. So I've been able to stack it with my work and health goals. So yeah, I'm on a lot of the online courses because of that incredible flexibility. E.O. Wilson said there can be no purpose more inspiriting than to begin the age of restoration, reweaving the wondrous diversity of life that still surrounds us. And I've been thinking about this. I don't know if it's a verb, inspiriting, being inspirited, but that's certainly what I get out of these gatherings. I'll share my intention since, I did the intention too. What just came out in the moment was to learn and grow with others, to support and be supported by people, to gain confidence and competence in making decisions and designing practical parts of our lives. So for those that have already done courses in permaculture and cultural emergence, there is some opportunities for advanced work that I've been doing with Luby. What a joy in my life. Over the autumn equinox weekend, we do an advanced design course with extraordinary people, and we're expanding that course this year to make it a little more spacious. And it's also in proximity to the Welsh Permaculture Gathering, which was such a blast last year. So I recommend you look into that as well. And you could do both weekends, or, that's another chance to see Luby and I and do workshops outside of the context of longer courses. And then we have our big online program, the Group Diploma Adventure, which is a opportunity to do 10 designs for practical and present things in your life, from small to large, and earn a certificate in applied permaculture design, and then a diploma in applied permaculture design. So we meet with the larger group once a month, and also with smaller action learning guilds once a month. So it's really for people that are committed and have a lot of time. 2 meetups a month in design work. Amazing people. Some of them are here. Barbara, my friend, I'm so excited about your final presentation on December 2nd. So you could get an opportunity, those of you who want to see what does the end of the Group Diploma Adventure look like. This is a great opportunity. Helena is here, Laura, Susan, and Tara, of which I've had the joy of reviewing their designs over the past while, and just so inspirational for me and the decisions I'm making, the designs I'm doing. So if you want to you have capacity and want to go into the advanced stuff, we have this single weekend, and we also have an immersive multi-year program with that's all online with meetups twice a month. So thanks for posting that in the chat, Barbara. Back to you, Looby.
Yes, so wonderful, all these opportunities, and I think it's great that you've had a chance to sort of meet me and some of my collaborators here, and see some pictures of Applewood and see some reflections. So is there anyone who would like to ask a question or share a reflection or something that's exciting them, or anything that they'd like to share? We've got 10 minutes or so left now, so anyone or any of my collaborators who would like to share something?
I think when I can share if can you hear me? Yeah.
Go for it,
Yeah.
Leona.
I was going to share just that, having all these courses available to us is such a privilege and such a unique situation in terms of how it's been through history. I work with an elder who's in her 80s who went through, learning behavioral psychology and learning earth-based spirituality back in the 60s and the 70s, whenever it was very new and difficult to get this information and access to so many tools and indigenous wisdom and community of people who are thinking and longing for the same things. And we're in this really unique time where we've got this kind of responsibility to do this deep learning, but also this ability to respond. I love flipping that word and seeing that as this sort of magical opportunity that's available to us. So like Looby said before, it kind of doesn't matter which course you do along the way. It's really about where you're at and seeing what's available to you now in the time, in the moment, and responding and just embracing the fact that each of these offerings has come through from a gathering of so many tools and so much wisdom and so many people's collective heart, that it's an exciting time to be growing and seeing what this all leads to. And in my life, I've seen it lead to so much richness.
Yeah, thank you, Leona. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, and Toolbox is growing, and from everyone be interacting with this, and so my partner Chris also, he does more of the practical courses, so he does fruit tree grafting and forest gardening courses and fruit tree budding as well, so he also does that, as well as the online PDC and doing the teach training with me as well. Great. And so many of you might go away from this and have questions and think, oh, I forgot to ask that, or I'm not sure about this, or which one do I go for? So Emma, would you like to share, because you'll be the person on the end of the emails for all of those questions, so would you like to share something about the process of like how people can find out more, and if their questions aren't answered?
Yeah. So while we've been going through the call, I've been posting in the chat lots of links to, we have web pages about all of our courses, but there's one really easy one that I'm going to post again now, which will tell you about the course, each of the courses. Also on the Applewood Permaculture Centre website, there's a frequently asked questions page as well, which I'll share in a minute. Not quite multitask. which can answer some of your questions. Also, you can email our applewoodcourses@yahoo.com email address, and I will answer lots of your questions. If I don't know the answer, I'll ask Looby or Chris or somebody else, and that's a really easy way. We're also on Facebook. Applewood and Looby are on Instagram. Mother Nature's also on Instagram, so you can email all of those places and ask your questions. And as Looby was saying before, there are no silly questions. They're just an opportunity waiting to share some more information with you that we might not have thought of. And sometimes those questions mean that we add more things to our website to make sure people really know. And when you book on, you get a nice booking form, and you get more information about the course as well, about everything you need to know to get started. If it's an online one, what you need to do there online, or if it's an in-person one, what you need to bring and how to get there. So we really try to make sure you got everything you need to know so you feel ready and safe and supported to be part of the courses.
Thank you, everyone. So let's end with a song, because we've shared that we sing on our courses. So we'll end with a song, and then if anyone still have questions, I know there's some questions maybe about the CELT or maybe other courses. I'll stay behind for a little bit for people that have more questions they want to ask me in the moment. But let's close our time together. Okay, yeah, Monique sent a message. Emma, you're wonderful. She is. That's why I work with her, because she's got endless patience for everyone's questions. So do ask her. She will answer them. So this is the song by Penny Stone, and it's called Seeds of Hope. But we can also have seeds of peace and seeds of love, and as well. So I'll sing it all the way through once, and then what the beauty of online singing is that you all get to stay muted, and you get to sing along with me, and we and so you get to sing in the comfort of your own home. I think there's a joke of, what do you call 100 people singing together on Zoom? Duet. So I did so much online singing during the pandemic. I love it. So this song goes: sow seeds of hope wherever you go, though some may fall on the thorny ground. Sow seeds of hope wherever you go, some the seeds bound to grow, taller than you ever could know. So I'll do it line by line as well. And so I'll do a line, and then I'll repeat it, and you sing along. Sow seeds of hope wherever you go, sow seeds of hope wherever you go, though may fall on the thorny ground, though some may fall on the thorny ground. Sow seeds of hope wherever you go, but some the seeds bound to grow, taller than you ever could know. Sow seeds of hope wherever you go, some the seeds bound to grow, taller than you ever could know. Let's do it once through together. Sow seeds of hope wherever you go, though some may fall on the thorny ground. Sow seeds of hope wherever you go, some the seeds bound to grow, taller than you ever could know. So I hope there's been some little sprinkling of seeds of hope in your life now, and go and water them and keep them growing. Thank you everyone for joining. And yeah, we'll stop our recording here now, but